Since all of you have the perception of a half-eaten burrito found on the ground outside, and the intelligence of a wooden donkey, I will explain to you what dice you use for each thing, and what dice go for the weapon you think might kill a god, demon older than time, and maybe that pig over there. We'll start from the top and work our way down and then to the next page, and or flip it over and then to the next page. We start with your name. Pretty self-explanatory. Next is this block right here. This is where you get to the good stuff. We first start with your class. This is how you play. You can hit, cast spell, shoot, or do a combination of all four. Next is your background. This is what your personality is, how you respond to situation. Next is your player name. It is legit just your name. No need for fancy stuff here. Next, your race. This what you look like and what skills you get when you pick this. Like the Dragonborn, who can breathe an element, like acid. What? Right next door is your alignment, your reason for burning down that orphanage. Note, because it's funny is not a reason. Finally, your EXP. When you're playing with me, that doesn't matter. Now let's go down a level to your stats. Yes! This is what you were waiting for. Yes? Well, hold your griffins there, boy. But first, you must roll them. This is rolled by rolling 4 6-sided dice and throwing the lowest number across the room. Then regret your decision and go apologize to your dad for throwing a die at the wall. Then write down the numbers you did not throw. Repeat this 5 more times. When you do this and look through the player's handbook, which I'm assuming you do not have, you'll see that each number you rolled coordinates to another number. Don't you love doing math? If you're unlucky and rolled an 11 or lower, sadly, you're not getting a plus. With an 11 or a 10, you get no plus or minus to your roll. If you roll a 9 or below, congratulations, you're getting a minus. You put these stats in certain blocks and write the little plus like this. How to roll this is when your DM says roll for strength or something like that. You roll the D20 whenever your DM says that. Next is inspiration. This is the block that no one gets, so get it out of your life. And hey-oh, the bard just used bardic inspiration. Look at that. Look at the video on my channel or Joecat's. Pretty nice, pretty cool guy. Below that, fuck you, you don't know where I'm going. Is your proficiency bonus. Add this bonus to any skill you're proficient in. Below that is the screaming corner. Saving throws. This area is reserved for people who got too greedy and took that pretty jewel on that stand. This is roll whenever your DM says make a blank saving throw. Below that lies the holy grail of greatness, and what the fuck are you doing? The skills. When you're making your character, this is very boring because it's mostly just writing plus, minus, or plus 0 if you're semi-good. But when you're playing, oh, is it good? On my first DMing, my brother used persuade an entire colony of Achenegs. Entire colony is like, of Achenegs is just 200. To 1, join the party, and 2, learn English. So imagine 4 of these things pop up from the ground and say, hey, yo, what's up? This guy causing you a problem, and then proceed to maul you. The skills can be used in a variety of different ways, such as healing a wound, investigating a chest, or a line that you totally didn't take those cookies. But dude, put them back. These skills are rolled with the D20, and those go along with the saving throws. Below that lies passive perception. This is made by adding 10 plus your wisdom modifier, not the score. And if you have proficiency in passive perception, add your proficiency modifier as well. You can't roll for passive perception as it is passive. Below that is your other proficiencies and languages. This is where you look if you're wondering if you can use this greatsword or not. Now we jump up to what I call the battle section. First on our list is armor class, or AC. This is where you look whenever a thing is attacking you. You can find out your AC by looking at the armor you're wearing and put that in your AC slot. But hold your hippogriffs there, boy. You gotta add your dexterity modifier, not the score, and boom, AC is made. Right next to it is initiative. This is the slot that determines who gets to attack first during a battle. This is calculated by slapping your dex modifier, not the score. When your DM says roll for initiative and you don't know what you're fighting, start panicking. Or when you find that lonely goblin on his lunch break, why would you do that? Right next to the fuck you, I'm going first because I have the alert feat. Corner is speed. This is how many feet you can move in a turn. There was this one time where a character had a speed of 70 feet, which means they could walk at a modest, slow 42 miles an hour. Speed is calculated by nothing. It's in the race thingy. Below that, sorry, HP department. This is calculated by what class you're playing plus the Constitution modifier, not the score. I swear to all the hells below, if you do that again, I will stab you with a soggy burrito. Anywho, with low classes, especially at level 1, you might have an HP of 7, which isn't bad. You just have to think, instead of running in screaming like the dumb rogue you are. Below that is next. Below that, hit dice. This is where your class comes in and reminds you that, hey, barbarians shouldn't have a max of 2 HP. Right next to it is the oh fuck area. This screaming corner is reserved for people who thought they could take on that ancient red dragon at level 5. When you die, you're not dead yet. But you're about to. Unless that dragon did more than your max HP, then you get to gamble with death. Yay! You get to roll a d20. 10 or less, you fail. 11 or higher, you succeed. If you roll a natural 1, then it counts as 2 failures. If you roll a nat 20, then you get 2 successes. Once you fill in all 3 dots, you're dead. End of story. And the opposite happens if you roll all 3 successes, which is you're alive, but you're unconscious. You can't do anything. Below that is the Barbarian's Dream at the attacks. This is where you get your weapons together and write them down here. I will cover weapon calculation in another video. Below that is the Hoarder's List equipment. Most people ignore the over-encumbrance limit and the backpack's weight and how much space you can put inside it. So it looks like your backpack is a storage device that has more space than the universe. Yeah, just like fit the halberd in there somewhere. Now we back up to your personality. This is basically your reason for metagaming. Usually I keep it blank, but hey, if you want to fill it out, hey, that's your carpal tunnel. Below that is where the carpal tunnel is strongest here and where I hate the most but it's forced. The features and traits. This is where I recommend a piece of paper and maybe some tissues if you're on the autistic spectrum, because you have to write everything about your character. And what I mean by that is class, racial traits, everything. And it only gets worse at higher levels, because you got, class abilities, Sacred Oaths, if you choose Paladin. Now flip over the paper, alright? I think you get to choose it. This is where you put a bit more of your backstory, you put a bit more magic items, there's allies, you could put, your dog's name in there and what he can do. So, we're going to skip that. Now, on to the next page. This is where you go when you're a wizard or a class that can cast spells. And that's it for pain and suffering. Have fun!